Hi there, folks. Welcome to today's episode of the Chaikin Minute. I'm David Chulin. In today's video, we are going to discuss importing a list into Chaikin Analytics. Yes, you can import a list of stocks from any source as long as it's in a CSV or Excel file that you have saved to your computer. So where could you get this file? Well, you could create one yourself manually. That doesn't seem to make a ton of sense to me. You could, at that point, just type in all the tickers in the similar name box. But perhaps you have a lot of stocks at your broker, right? And there's an export feature there. You could click export, export the list of tickers to that file, which would download to your computer. At that point, we could then import it into Chaikin Analytics instead of having to go through and take the 50 tickers and type each one of them in and click the plus button, etc. I'm going to show you how to do that here today. In the top right corner, this is a little hidden. Under the gear icon is where you will find import list. Give it a click. Little window will pop up. The first thing it's going to do is ask you to upload the file. And I'm on a Mac, so it says browse. I think maybe on a PC it says select file. I don't recall. I've been using a Mac for a number of years, but you would click this here and search for the file on your computer. Now I want to do a quick switch here to Excel. Here is my file in Excel, right? Whether it's a CSV or an Excel file doesn't really matter. Here is the key. If you export a file from your broker or wherever else you're getting a file of stocks, maybe you're getting a list of ideas from somewhere else, a different service you use, whatever it is, there may be other data in this CSV or Excel file. You want to get rid of all of it. We are looking for a file that looks like this. Now I have 10 tickers, maybe you have 20 or 50, or maybe it's 5. It doesn't matter. The key is remove all the other stuff from the file. We want nothing in this file but the tickers from starting in A1 down that A column, right? Down as far as it needs to go. Doesn't matter how many are in there, right? The key is that we start in A1 and we have nothing else here. Remove company names, remove performance info, right? Remove the header if it's got different columns previously. Get rid of all of it. Make sure it's just this. Now, technically speaking, we can still import with other information, but the probability that it runs into some trouble becomes a lot higher. If you have a CSV or Excel file, it's nothing but a column of tickers like this, there's going to be no trouble. It's going to import without problem. You may notice, if you're familiar with some of these tickers, that I've included ETFs. Yes, absolutely. ETFs and stocks can both be imported, together in one list. Chaikin Analytics does not include mutual funds. You cannot import mutual funds. Keep that in mind. All right, so let's hop back now to Chaikin Analytics. I don't know where the file is saved on your computer. If you've exported and saved something from somewhere else, make sure you're aware of where that is. I know that I have saved this file, my example file, to my desktop. It's right here. So I'm going to select that file, example, and hit open or select or whatever it is. Now it fills in the list name. It's selected the file, as we can see right here. Oops, excuse me. And it's selected the list name based on the file name. You could call it whatever you want. If you wanted to call it example and put the date or whatever it is, that's fine. It's pulling the name, which will be your list name, from the name of your file. Now you're going to click next. This is now going to ask you where in the file we're starting. Again, this will have a much higher probability of having some issues if we did not pick a 100% just single column ticker file here, but we did. So we don't have to do anything else on this page. All we need to do is click import. It'll take a second or two, and it'll say the example list is created and available in the user list group. We're going to click close. We'll close out of the import list. We'll give it a second over here to load, and there you go. we can now see my list that I just imported called example available for us, and it is now here inside our user list. This is a user list like any user list, a list you created by hand by typing in the tickers, a list you created by clicking new list and typing in whatever here. Exactly the same, just a different way to go about doing that. And if I am done with this list, just like any other list, I can click the X. Are you sure you want to delete, and hit continue, and the list will delete. We hope you've enjoyed today's Chaikin Minute. We will see you again next week.